Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech. This week, we are diving headfirst into the whirlwind that is artificial intelligence. I mean, every single day seems to bring some new breakthrough, a new tool, or, new controversy. And right on the heels of this software revolution is a whole new wave of hardware. Gadgets designed from the ground up to put all this AI power right in your hands, and even on your face. Just imagine for a second, what if your browser became your co-pilot? And what if your phone could literally unfold into a tablet? Today, we're not just looking at a few new gadgets, we're really exploring a whole new reality that's being built right now. So let's dive in.
So here's our game plan for today's explainer. We're going to start with how AI is completely changing the software we use every single day. Then we'll get into the business side of things, the hardware wars between giants like Apple and Samsung, the big push into mixed reality, and how all this high-end tech is actually making everyday gadgets better and cheaper. And we'll wrap up with a pretty cool way for you to get in on the action yourself.
All right, our first stop is the web browser. You know, it's a tool so familiar it's almost invisible to us now, but it is right at the center of a massive AI-fueled reinvention.
And that is a serious question. I mean, the simple act of just typing into a search bar is being completely rethought. You got companies like OpenAI, Google with Gemini and Chrome, and the startup Perplexity. They're all racing to build AI into the core browsing experience, turning it from a passive window into an active assistant. The way we find information and interact with the web is about to fundamentally change.
Leading the charge is OpenAI, with its rumored AI browser, which has the codename ChatGPT Atlas. Now, the whole idea here is that the AI is built in from the ground up. So this isn't just another plugin or some extension you add on. No, Atlas is designed to be an intelligent assistant that actually understands what you're doing, no matter the task, without you ever having to switch tabs or copy-paste a link into a separate chat window.
So what can this thing actually do? Well, it's all about natural language commands. With just a simple prompt, Atlas can instantly summarize any article into bullet points. If you're anything like me and have hundreds of tabs open, you can just ask it to group them by topic and close all that clutter. It can even remember stuff for you, like it can find a pair of shoes you were looking at yesterday and then proactively show you cheaper options today. It can even turn a web page into a pop quiz to help you study. Pretty cool, right?
Now, all this incredible innovation is, of course, fueling a massive business boom, a real AI gold rush. But as we're about to see, it's a story with two very different sides.
Just take a look at this number, $7 billion. That's the projected annual revenue for Anthropic, one of OpenAI's main competitors. And to put that into perspective, that is a staggering six-fold jump from just $1 billion a year ago. It just shows you the unbelievable demand and the sheer amount of money pouring into the AI space right now.
And this slide just brilliantly illustrates the tension in the market. On one hand, you have this explosive growth. I mean, beyond Anthropic's insane revenue, you've got the maker of the game PUBG, Krafton, investing $70 million in its own AI infrastructure. And ChatGPT's user retention has hit an unprecedented 90%. But on the other side, you've got a backlash. Meta just laid off 600 people from its AI units, calling them bloated. And Reddit is suing Perplexity AI for allegedly scraping its content without permission to train its models. So yeah, it's a boomtown, but it's also a battleground.
So this AI revolution needs a new generation of hardware to live on, right? A new stage for these intelligent assistants to perform. And that brings us to the future of the most personal computer we own, the smartphone.
For years, Apple has kind of been sitting on the sidelines, watching Samsung and others experiment with foldable phones. But now, it seems the giant is finally ready to make its move. A massive leak has allegedly outlined Apple's multi-year plan to completely revamp the iPhone lineup, and it is all centered around new form factors.
And we're not just talking about one device here. The leaked roadmap suggests a whole multi-phase reinvention. It reportedly kicks off in 2026 with a book-style iPhone Fold. Then, for the 20th anniversary in 2027, a major rebrand to iPhone 20. And that's followed in 2028 by a smaller, clamshell-style iPhone Flip. It really seems to be a long-term vision to offer multiple new ways to interact with your phone.
So while Apple is supposedly planning this radical shakeup, what about its biggest rival? Well, after reportedly taking about a major lineup change of its own, including new Pro and Edge models, leakers now say Samsung is playing it safe. The plan for the Galaxy S26 is to just stick with the classic three-model strategy we've known for years. A classic case of one company zigging while the other zags.
But for a lot of these companies, the long-term vision for AI goes way beyond the phone in your pocket. The next frontier is all about blending the digital and physical worlds together, right before your very eyes.
And that is the world of mixed reality. Now, unlike traditional virtual reality, which completely immerses you in a digital world, mixed reality creates a new layer on top of your physical reality. So you can see and interact with digital information, objects, and AI assistants as if they were physically in the room with you.
And the battle here is already heating up. Samsung, in a huge partnership with Google, is directly challenging Apple's high-end Vision Pro with its new Galaxy XR headset. And just look at the difference here. It's coming in at $1,799. That is a whopping $1,700 cheaper than the Vision Pro. And crucially, it's built around Android XR and Google's powerful conversational AI, Gemini Live, which they believe is the killer app for this whole new category of device.
Now, all this high-end, futuristic innovation has a really interesting side effect. It's driving down the cost of premium features in the gadgets we use every day. So let's look at a piece of tech you can actually go out and buy today that perfectly illustrates this.
And a perfect example of this is the new Hisense U65QF television. This is a mini LED TV, which is a technology that used to be reserved for only the most expensive sets. But Hisense is proving you don't need to spend a fortune to get a fantastic, bright, and colorful picture in your living room.
The test results from Tom's guide really speak for themselves here. You can see that in key areas like brightness and color accuracy, where a lower Delta E score is better, the Hisense U65QF, which goes on sale for around $570, soundly beats its more expensive competitors from LG and TCL. But this chart on HDR brightness, this really tells the story. When you're watching a movie in a format like Dolby Vision or HDR10, the Hisense delivers almost double the peak brightness of the LG competitor. We're talking 946 nits versus 527. That makes for a much more vibrant, dynamic, and impactful picture, the kind you used to have to pay thousands for. Okay, so finally, if this explainer has you feeling curious to experiment with the AI revolution yourself, you might be wondering where to even start. Well, there's a practical way to get your hands on these powerful tools without breaking the bank. For one-time payment of just under $40, a service called Chat Playground AI is offering lifetime access to a massive suite of different AI tools. This is a deal that was highlighted by Mashable, and it's designed to solve a major headache for anyone who's curious about AI.
See, the problem is every AI model has different strengths, right? One might be great for writing, another for coding, and a third for just creative ideas. This platform lets you skip signing up for a dozen different subscriptions. Instead, you can run the same prompt through over 40 of the world's top AI models, like GPT-4o, Claude, and Gemini, and compare their results side by side in one single window to see which one works best for your specific task.
And that really brings us to the big question. We've seen AI remaking our browsers, our businesses, and the gadgets we hold in our hands. It's getting more powerful. But, as we just saw, it's also getting radically more accessible. So, as these tools become a part of our daily lives, how will you use them? If you enjoyed this episode, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.